Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Adventure Built. My name is Kelly. Today I'm installing the brand new Drive Reach Overland from Weboost. Now this isn't your daddy's semi Weboost. It's Overland specific. Let's find out why. The Weboost cell phone booster is nothing new. The long haul truckers have been using these for years, got adapted into the RV realm, and now us Overlanders have also adopted it because it does extend our cell phone range when in the backcountry. Now this system here is kind of the crux of it. Is on overlanding, you want to get this antenna as high up on your rig as possible. Then in turn, you're exposing it to trail damage, branches, tree limbs, those kinds of things. Hitting this outside antenna and cracking it or knocking it over or breaking your rack. It's just, it's not the ideal situation because it does have to stand out so high. Now you'll notice people were kind of running them lower on their truck. They mount it to the side of their rig so it barely sticks out. However, you're kind of cutting down a lot of the effectiveness of the system because this antenna, again, because it is a radio antenna kind of signal, it has to be high up on the truck to get the best signal possible. Now this is where everything is going to change with this Drive Reach Overland. Now the kingpin to this Drive Reach Overland is this adapter plate right here. And what this does is you screw this into the base of your Weboost outside antenna. And what this does is it attaches directly to your overlanding rack. Now this is compatible 3 different ways, 3 different mounting options. On my application, it is a direct bolt on to my Prinsu rack, which is awesome. And what this does is you pull this knob out and this whole thing articulates so you can actually put it down and out of the way when not in use. Let's get it installed. Inside the box here, you've got your standard Weboost outside antenna, your booster, and then your inside antenna, which is right here. We've got a little pre-assembly to do in order to figure out the placement of the actual antenna itself. So we're putting the long rod into the Weboost outside antenna mast, this big mast here. And then we're going to use a little bit of Loctite that comes in the kit so that way the threads don't back out. Now we're going to take our small extension here, and this is where the coaxial cable is going to exit. Again, a little bit of Loctite on the threads. Give it a good twist, and that'll lock in tight. And now we're going to use our whip extension, and this is just going to stop it from, if it hits a branch, it's not going to break. This is actually flexible, and it will bend. So we're Loctite. Now for direct mounted to Prinsu rack, it comes with these T-track that go into the T-track. Little plates here, and they just direct thread on with the included hardware. And if you have a bed rack, there's this adapter plate here that allows you to direct mount it to the bed rack itself. And then if you have a bar system, it comes with a second plate here, and you can actually clamp the bar in like so. When I got up onto the Prinsu, I realized there's a slight problem. The T-track plates that they sent in the kit don't actually fit into the slots of the Prinsu racks. They're quite a bit too big. And I don't really know of a solution outside of just grinding these down, taking off maybe 1/8 of an inch on each side, and they'll be able to slide in there. And then another issue that I found while on the Prinsu rack is that the way that these holes line up, you can only mount it elongated on the rack, which would mean that it folds down side to side. And then it's going to either impact my recovery box with my Pelican case with all my gear in it, or it's going to hit my exit tracks. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to mount front to back. That way I can fold it forward and it will lay longwise along with all of my long things on my rack. And the only way to do that is to actually encapsulate the T-track in these mounting plates here and go above it and below it. So I just found out these screws are actually a little bit too short to reach through to this bottom mounting plate. They barely touch, but you don't get enough thread lock, especially with the washers, to actually be able to lock those screws on. I'm gonna take this a different direction. I've identified actually a better option here for me, and that's gonna be this very back bar in the Prinsu rack that faces vertically. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mount it all the way to the side, and it's basically my exit tracks end right here. So that exit tracks actually protect it when it's down, and when it closes, it actually just goes along this bar all the way before my recovery rifle case. So it's actually a perfect spot, and it's out of the way, and it will give me the rest of the rack to use. So I have to go back to my initial screws, which are my own personal Prinsu rack Phillips head screws to lock this thing down. All right, now that I've got my Prinsu mounting screws all situated inside the bar here, I had to take this bar off. There's no easy access like the rest of the bars because it's an end spot, which aren't typically used. So what I'm gonna do is pull the screws out on these. All right, with the Overland bracket solidly mounted, we can now mount the antenna. Throw a little bit of Loctite on these threads and just thread it right in. Very solid. I've got the Weboost antenna all mounted up. I've got the exit tracks back on the Prinsu rack, and there's lots of clearance, no worries there. You'll notice I was on my feet a lot on the white knuckle off-road sliders, getting everything put up on the Prinsu rack, and the only way you can do it is on the sliders, and typically my feet would be killing me afterwards. Luckily, I've got these brand new boots from Brunt, and they are amazing. They look good, they're high quality, they are an excellent price point, and they are good for all day long. The best part is they are a work boot. They've got a big, not a steel toe, but a nylon toe cover, which is if I'm off-roading and a big roller of rock bounces down the trail onto my foot, I'm no longer concerned about crushing my toes. And after losing that toenail from an incident in Idaho, I'm no longer concerned because this is gonna protect my feet the way they should be. And check out the link right here for $10 off on your next purchase. Thank you, Brunt, for sponsoring this video. Now I'm gonna blast through the rest of this install because it's just like every other Weboost install out there. All I'm doing is connecting a coaxial cable from the outside antenna into the truck through a plug in the floor, and then I'm gonna put it into the booster inside the truck. And then another cable goes from the booster to the inside antenna, and then we're off to the testing. It's all mounted up, and I've got the inside antenna right next to the B pillar on the passenger side, which should give me plenty of travel for myself and my wife in the truck. I really don't have passengers in the back seat, so I'm only worried about the signal that's really on the dash. So that should be totally fine. I've obviously lost the light. Tomorrow I'm gonna head out and do some off-roading and see how well this mount holds up to what I can throw at it. It's a couple days later, and what a beautiful day it is here in Arizona in the wintertime. Now I'm out here in the desert doing a test of the Weboost mount behind me here, and it's actually very impressive. On the freeway driving here at 60, 65 miles an hour, it barely budged. Obviously you're gonna get some sway out of the top of the mast, but the mount itself was rock solid. Then I did a couple big hill climbs, I did some rutty areas, and the mount was rock solid. So what do I like about this new Drive Reach Weboost system? One, I like that it's a purpose-built, first of its kind, Overland specific cell phone signal booster. It's got the multi-position, so it can go all the way down, it can go halfway and then go all the way up. It's super easy to manipulate. It's just a pull of a knob, so you're not having to twist things, you're not having to, work hard to get it into those positions. It just clicks into each position and it's rock solid in that position. Doesn't matter if you're at highway speeds, you're overlanding, that thing's not gonna move. I also like the fact that it's all designed, produced, shipped, everything's all here in the USA, which is great. I also like the fact that it's a known quantity. Weboost there's tons of research, tons of reviews of the Weboost system itself. Even with the new 5G, it works flawless. Now there's only one little drawback to this system, and that was in the mounting portion. I had to use my own plates to get into the Prinsu track to be able to mount it directly onto it. However, this is the first iteration, and I'm sure it's hard to have a universal across all racks system. Hopefully they fix that for the Prinsu racks because it kind of is the most popular rack out there for Overlanders. So hopefully they get some plates that will fit in that, which shouldn't be a huge issue. It's just plates, not a big deal. Let me know if you guys are running this already. Let me know in the comments below. Do you like it? Do you like the functionality of this? I really dig it. Lots of people are out there running these antennas lower, so for clearance issues, this is going to solve that completely, which is perfect. I have also officially launched the Adventure Built t-shirts. Be sure to check out the Adventure Built website for those details. They come in this awesome OD green, a dark gray, and a blue, and they're super rad. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, be sure to hit that thumbs up, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.